They said we were threatened.
They were threatened too?
For them.
This is betrayal. $37,000. That is what our game is worth to them. ICC very soon is going to blacklist Cricket Canada.
Maybe they were very, very scared.
People sitting thousands of miles away makes a decision to make a young captain.
There was some lobby working to make him captain, and they forced.
This doesn't happen without a reason.
Before they landed, I got this information from inside that look out that Deeprit is going to be a captain.
Support these players, else you will know who Lawrence Bishnoi is. A designated terrorist organization. Threatening players. Over team selection. Let that sink in.
These two guys actually threatened him. Kalim Sanan, that don't mess with the Devesh Shankar. When I tried to start investigating, I found that he is sitting with anti-corruption unit for 2 hours. Prem Prasad was thrown out. I don't know why he is telling people that he was not thrown out, but he just left Cricket Canada. No, he was thrown out. Nab Dhaliwal, I will consider him the biggest culprit in all this. The guy who needs a coach, a moral coach, he's doing coaching. The whole ecosystem is corrupt.
And my next guest wasn't watching it from outside. He was inside. In that dugout, in the ground, at the World Cup. In the studios of Soul Talk with Bhav, let's welcome
Enough is enough.
I've defended this game in the rooms when nobody else cared for it. I worshipped this game as a religion, meant every word of it. But last week, this game spat in my face and in yours. I'm a fan who wakes up at 2:30 in the morning just to watch the game I worship. Who drives for hours, spends money, takes days off just to watch my country, Canada, play. We've accepted every loss, always did. But this is not a loss. This is betrayal. With the captain possibly placed on the cricket field to follow a script. Yeah, that's what they call it, a script. Script available for $37,000. That is correct. $37,000. That is what our game is worth to them. When CBC's documentary was released, the entire cricket fraternity across the globe was shaken. And I couldn't stay quiet. So I decided to do 2 podcasts. One with the whistleblower from the outside, the architect of this entire controversy. And the other guest is from the Cricket Canada's dugout in the field, at the ground. My first guest today, he is not a journalist. He's an IT professional with a deep love for the game. He's been writing for years on his social media about the wrongdoings of Cricket Canada. He's been screaming in the void, but no one heard till the time CBC did. The entire country did. The entire world did. The architect, the man behind CBC's documentary, Devesh Shankar, welcome to Soul Talk with Bhav.
Thank you, Bhav. Thanks for inviting me in your program.
Thank you for coming, Devesh. Devesh, you are an IT guy. You're not a journalist who's been writing on his Facebook wall for years. No media card, no backup, no press release. How does someone like you end up being the person who cracked open the biggest scandal in Canadian history ever when any mainstream journalist couldn't even smell it?
The trick is that you need to build that confidence with the people inside and outside, right? In the ecosystem. So it took time. It was not overnight. And because earlier people used to think that maybe I had some agenda. I want to become a director or I want to capture the power. But slowly and gradually people started believing me, no, this guy has no agenda. And then as those informants started flowing in, question is that maybe I'm not a trained journalist, to be frank, as you said that I'm not a journalist. Yes, I'm not a trained journalist, but I understand what is journalism is all about. I understand the crux of journalism, that is to question the people in the power. That is the main job of a journalism. So I just stick to that. And questioning, people start trusting. Then I started getting information from inside and outside, which I have to think about it and then write about it.
So you mentioned a very important word here, trust
Yeah.
and information. So would it be right to say that the players trust you and then they give you information if something is bad? Because let's be honest here. You are the one who gave the insights to CBC. You are the one who got them in. You are the one, if I say for the lack of better words, mastermind behind this scandal.
It's not right to say that I bring the CBC in, but yes, definitely CBC might have thought about it doing it. I cannot, ask them to do it. So once they decided to do it, yes, I was part of their unofficial team, you can say. I was not part of their inside team, but yes, as far as whatever I can do, I was doing it.
Look into my eye and say, you didn't know this was happening?
When the series started
Yes.
signing, I knew right from the beginning what is going to happen, but it was part of our tacit agreement that I should not be speaking it.
Because I have spoken and I will speak to my next guest who is from the Cricket Canada's dugout, but unofficially I've spoken to people, not even me. There are people in Cricket Canada who has come and say, hey, we called CBC at this time. They came some other day. Well, they are media houses. They will not come when you call them. They say, we thought they're coming to give us the congratulatory speech or good luck for Cricket Canada, but they had different agenda. So you knew all about this?
Yes, I knew it, but I was supposed to keep quiet.
Did you share this information with anyone?
None of them.
You were not supposed to.
No. Yeah, so I just wanted to tell you that CBC is a very big media house, right? And the Fifth Estate is one of the most renowned documentary investigation journalism, you say, and you can imagine, right? They must have budget, and they must have also seen all these bad things happening in the Cricket Canada. That was the primary factor, I would say, that they got attracted. Not because I was writing. They might they have consulted me because I have been writing, but it doesn't mean that because of me they came. It was because of those bad act of these Cricket Canada people, they got attracted.
So you ignited fuel to the fire. You added it.
Yeah, I added the fuel, you can say.
Talking about the fuel and the fire, there was a lot of fire when the coach was recorded.
They asked me to
The
fix the
coach
match.
secretly recorded.
They said they
The
arrested
president,
me and you
the
won't play.
board
I
from
said,
miles
"Have
away
a match?"
telling them who to play, who not to play.
Yeah.
And the recording was given to Cricket Canada, buried it, didn't do anything about it. What do you say on that?
So initially, I think someone from Cricket Canada later on realized that it should be forwarded to ICC. So they actually forwarded it to ICC, but initially they didn't do anything.
They tried to bury it on records, and later
When
it was out.
They were
had to
forced.
do it.
Yeah, once it was broken, then the news was broken. Then they did the right thing by forwarding it to the ICC.
But why do you think ICC is still quiet on this?
Who says they're quiet? They are definitely doing their investigation. See, the problem with ICC is that they have their own procedure to follow. There is a standard operating procedure, and they have to also respect the law of the land, right? So they cannot just come and say, okay, you guys are suspended. They have to ensure that everything they are taking, any action they are taking, is not challenged in the court. So they are taking time, but I will not be surprised that soon you will hear the news that they have taken the drastic action.
Are you implying towards banning Cricket Canada? Possible.
Yes, it is very much possible. It is on the card. I can,
Because
let me say, I can break the news that, yeah, it is 100%. I got a news from ICC Inside that, yes, it is very much a possibility.
So are you saying on records that ICC very soon is going to blacklist Cricket Canada?
So one of the indication is that they have already asked for 10 years of financial auditing. So this is starting point of what we all are thinking of.
That's scary. It's not the first time ICC is doing it.
Yeah.
They have done it with other countries in the past too.
Yeah. So they do not come like all of a sudden and say, okay, guys, you all are blacklisted. No, they don't do it like that. They have their procedure. They will follow it and they will do according to their SOP.
And why would they, Devesh? Because you tell me, even in gully cricket, before we are going to play in a different mohalla, your captain is decided before you go. You are in Sri Lanka, a few weeks left for the World Cup. Board or people sitting thousands of miles away makes a decision to make a young captain who's inexperienced compared to a lot of experienced and more deserving players in the team. This doesn't happen without a reason. This cannot be an accident. What is this?
Yeah, so in the city hall, when team were getting the send off from Brampton, Mayor of Brampton, right? So I asked Nicholas that, are you the captain? He said, yes. As far as I know, I am the captain. And then I asked Ingleton, a general manager, and the coach, that who's the captain? He said, Nicholas is the captain. But the moment they landed in Sri Lanka, I got the announcement. Before they landed, I got this information from inside that, look out, that Dilpreet is going to be a captain. And I have been hearing this rumor for 3 or 4 months back that Dilpreet will become the captain.
Correct me if I'm wrong, the first practice game, which apparently they won against a Sri Lankan side, the captain was not Dilpreet. Curtin was the captain.
Curtin was the captain, perhaps, yeah. So, see, this is the circumstances in which he was made captain, raises a lot of suspicion and questions.
Why?
Because this is not the right way to make somebody captain.
Why was he made that captain?
I heard that there was some lobby working to make him captain, and they forced and they put all the board of directors under duress to take this decision. And who was behind that? I don't know.
You answered my how. I'm asking why.
Why? I think CBC has very, very clearly shown that why. I think half of the things were already answered, but we'll wait for ICC investigation to make it completely official.
You think it's not official? CBC can make allegations without the proofs?
No, they have got wind of it.
I'm sure you know.
Yeah. So, as far my information goes, I think Dilpreet Singh Bajwa was caught by the anti-corruption unit, and they kept him for 2 or 3 hours. Well, 2 and 3 long hours. He was investigated.
His phone
was kept, and as far as my knowledge goes, his phone is still with ICC. It was not returned back. There were a couple of other players also. They were called. Kaleem Sana was also called, and but his phone was perhaps returned back. But Dilpreet Singh Bajwa phone is still with them. So it is a serious matter, and let's not jump to any conclusion. But look, things are not looking bright for Dilpreet Singh Bajwa, I can tell you.
Devesh, let's go to BC. Let's go to Surrey. A restaurant in Surrey, players having dinner. Two people come in, pull players out, and say, support these players, else you will know who Lawrence Vishnoi is. A designated terrorist organization threatening players over team selection. Let that sink in. How did we reach there, Devesh?
I think this was something to happen. It was wide open. Like if you do a lot of corruption, if you have been following Cricket Canada, right? I will not be surprised if this is true, right? Because there's so many things happened in Cricket Canada which is not right. And when you do these things, accident is bound to happen, and that's what we are seeing now. That as per CBC also, there are some elements who have entered into Cricket Canada for whatever purpose. I am not sure whether this is that Vishnoi group or not group. If somebody is taking his name for taking advantage, it could be also possible too. But I do not have information what CBC have, because they are the bigger media. They have an investigation team who have done have done a lot of investigation, deep investigation, and CBC will never tell me that what they have found it.
Forget about CBC, Devesh. I have players trust you.
Yeah.
No one came to you?
Players never came to me.
Such a big thing, they didn't even talk to you about it?
Maybe they were very, very scared about it.
Or you can say, I don't want to really.
Yeah, they were very scared. Indirectly, they passed on the information to me, and I think perhaps I have written also about it. But nobody took Bishnoi's name that time. They said we were threatened, and this is what is going on.
They were threatened too?
For that,
For what?
for there was a fight between these players, right? And I have been hearing that Kaleem Sana, let's take a name, everybody knows about it, right? So Kaleem Sana and Dilpreet were not going well along, right? So they have some friction. And this fight was, these two guys actually threatened him, Kaleem Sana, that don't mess with Dilpreet Singh Batra. But later on, somebody sent me the affidavit that there's no such fight. So that's why I kept quiet, because if I got an affidavit, then I cannot say anything about it. And then when I contacted Delta Police also did not give me enough, no information. So how did CBC get it? That's CBC, right? So they have...
Affidavit didn't go there?
They might have received it. And I'm sure they must have done all the homework. They cannot say or take somebody's name without proper investigation. I'm sure they want it.
Devesh, let's go to the World Cup and let's go to the game. Third over, Saad bin Zafar bowls an amazing wicket maiden.
Yeah.
Fifth over, everyone expects Saad bin Zafar to come again. Captain walks himself in. A batter comes over an experienced spinner. Bowls a no ball. A spinner in the World Cup.
And the white ball.
And a white ball. With whatever knowledge I have for cricket, I can't understand with the cricketing logic, can you?
No. And that's what I think, that it is fishy. It is not correct. First of all, in the super over, you always play... Power play, sorry. Super. So power play, first 6 over, you play your best bowlers.
Even in the
non-regular bowler, if they are, maybe he thinks that he's a very good bowler. I consider him
batsman all round.
One of the best batsmen in T20 in Canada. But bowler, I will not rate him as much as I rate him as a batsman. So I was surprised to see him bowling within 5 overs. So it was really, really surprising and puzzling for me.
You were not the only one surprised. I was not the only one surprised. Hey, guess what? After the match, the anti-corruption unit pulled him from the team meeting.
Yeah.
Like you said, for a couple of hours, searched his phone.
Dilpreet was not present in the meeting, and everyone started sending me information. There was why Dilpreet is not in the team meeting. I said, what the hell is going on.
So players from India were sending you messages that Dilpreet missed the morning meeting.
Then it was like alarming to me. Then when I tried to start investigating, I found that he is sitting with anti-corruption unit for 2 hours, and his phone was confiscated.
Devesh, you an IT guy, you're not a policeman. How did you change roles? Like players from World Cup in India sending you messages, like, who are you, man?
No, because they trust me. Like they think that I'm doing this without any agenda. That's the simple thing. And you will be surprised by this. All directors, president, they all speak to me. They all give me information. But they will, when they meet each other, they say, no, who is giving, my God, you have given me information and now you're like, so it's fine. I don't want to name anybody because I don't want to burn them because they have a stake in cricket. So,
and whoever I've spoken to, they've always said not amazing things about you.
Yeah, they abuse me, they accuse me, but that's fine. As long as my message is going to the public, the community, listen, there is a problem in cricket, please pay attention, I'm fine. Whatever they want to say about me is fine.
I wish your wife was here answering this, but you are a family man too.
Yeah.
And all these people, if whatever we are talking is true, they never tried to come for you, against you?
Oh, multiple times. Starting with Ranjit Saini, he sent me a notice.
From a lawyer?
From a lawyer. Salman did twice.
For what?
For cease and desist, something like that. So there are many people keep sending me warning that take it out, otherwise I will do this and that. See, that's where earlier I was not very, diligent. When I used to write, I used to write from my emotions. But later on, I started to reward up deep diligence before I write. Because my lawyer said, Devesh, if you're writing facts, nobody can touch you. If you're giving your opinion based on a fact, it's fine. So that's what I started doing. A lot of facts finding before I write.
So the way short now, the board is gone, new faces are in, and according to CBC, the man 4 sources connected the threats to is now running Cricket Canada. What does Devesh Shankar has to say on this?
No, I will beg to differ from you. The new board, I will say it is the same board, more and less. If you see Rana is there, who is involved in match fixtures. Amjad Bajaj went rightfully so. Prem Prasad was thrown out. I don't know why he's telling people that he was not thrown out, but he just left Canada. No, he was thrown out.
Literally, he said he didn't like the corruption in Canada.
He was part of that corruption, and I will prove it. Let me explain it right from the beginning. Who were involved in bringing Salman Khan? Prem Prasad was one of the prime actors in that. So he's lying. He's blatantly lying. He was very much part of that group initially. And then, once his purpose was served, he became a vice president. Then, when Amjad and Salman fought, Prem Prasad thought, okay, it's better to take side of Amjad to remain vice president and the manager of the cricket team. He sided with Amjad Bajaj.
And you just said you don't say anything without your due diligence, right?
I know, it's fact.
Because this is on records.
Yes.
People can come after you.
Yeah, let it come.
Because Prem Prasad said on our last meeting that I did not like the corruption in Cricket Canada, that's why I left.
He's lying.
So you're saying it's the same board, different face maybe?
Yes. Rana is there, Jabu is there. How can it be different?
So all these guys
are there. The only thing is that their interest has changed. They remain same. But now interest has changed.
Is their first interest love feeling?
No, not at all. If that was the case, then I would not have been writing anything.
What is that?
That is the biggest. Their interest is power, free tour, and other stuff. Other than cricket, anything you can think about. Now let's get back to this controversial, expulsion of Ubuntu.
Yes.
So That is the point I will say that was a milestone where the things start getting bad, right?
Such an amazing coach.
Yeah, such an amazing and proven coach, proven reward, right? He was thrown out, and now if you connect the dot, you can logically think about it. Why he was thrown out of the coach? The headline coverage Toronto's, and you do not try to correct something which is not broken. Why he was thrown out? Think about it. Because they wanted to bring somebody, a coach who can comply and who can be yes man. And what they want to do, they should be doing. And what was that? This is the team which is going to play. This is all recorded in the phone call. This is what Khurram said, right? That he used to get a call from the board members that this guy will play, this guy will not play. This is the playing 11. What is the business of a CEO or a president or a director to get involved in the team selection? What was the business of these guys calling and fixing the team? Obviously.
But it was on records that Pugudu in fact fought whatever for the team, for the players, for their contracts.
Yeah, see, this is another, and that's why I blame all the senior players of Cricket Canada, except for 2-3 players who did not sign.
Can you give names?
Nav Dhaliwal. I will consider him the biggest culprit in all this problem. He very much, yes, I can tell you that he very much in a collusion with Khurram Chawan was the prime factor on doing this. Navid Dhaliwal, Kaleem Sana, who not? And then today, look at the karma. They all are in problem today. But who started this problem?
But yeah, Devesh, you're giving big allegations. There are proofs for that.
Yes. Allegation of what? This is on CBC. You can see everybody's writing. They all signed it.
Probably they're
See, if I'm a senior player playing for this country for 10 to 15 years, can somebody force me to sign it? Why Saab did not sign it? Why Dylan Haley did not sign it?
What could have been their personal interest?
Because they all wanted to save their place in the team. Because Udo is the guy who will go with your merit and with your skill set and your form. What else? Why Navi is signed? Can you tell me? He's a senior player. Who could have forced him to sign it? Unless he willingly did it. Who have forced Kaleem Sana to sign it? Why did he sign it? Do you think that is the right thing to do?
I don't know if that's right, but
I think this was not a right thing to do.
But the right
and
thing,
these are the players who actually destroyed Cricket Canada because they sided with the player and Khelo and everybody to get this done. And this destroyed the confidence of Udo. Udo, who was trying to build the team, actually got a setback after that. And if that was not broken in the news, first I broke it on the Facebook, something like this has happened. And then Creek Info or perhaps other big media company broke it. And then this Claire has to withdraw it. Otherwise, Claire declared it. The moment he got the signature of the players, he said, yeah, Udo is terminated. And the moment the force, the people started talking about it, there was a media publication and everything, then he has to retreat. And then Amjad gave the statement, no, he is not terminated. We'll look into it later on. There will be a investigation committee and those drama. And when he came back from St. Kitts, and you can ask Udo when you get a chance, then when he came back from St. Kitts and team was going to US for the World Cup, Salman Khan said, come back from the World Cup and I will make sure that you are not in Cricket Canada. You can ask Udo. This was the thing. So there was all kind of conspiracy going on. Why is maybe Salman said because he was upset because Pugudu also gave a testimony in the Sports Canada because there was a case by Sivanta and Amar Khalid in the SGRCC for the selection problem. And Puvudu gave a testimony that selection was not done.
And that's a big loss. A national coach saying
The national coach went against the organization. And Salman was very upset about it because Salman got first defeat in the court, in the SDRCC.
USA did wait. They pounced on a gem of a person.
Yeah, see, this is again, when you say IT guy, logical thinking. A guy did 4 times the same success. It's not a fluke. He has got some skill and the extra oversight, which these guys don't understand. That's the problem.
Because he's played
Yeah.
at the top level.
He has played for Sri Lanka.
At the top level, what else do you want?
He was part of 1996 World Cup, where Sri Lanka won it. He was supposed to be the main wicket-keeper batsman, but somehow he was not. But he is that kind of player. He is that kind of coach who proved so many times by doing it. He qualified Canada for the first in 2011 World Cup. Then he went to Nepal. Nepal qualified for ODI. He came to US. US qualified for ODI. He came to Canada. Qualified for ODI. What else you need? What else you need to understand that he's the best guy to serve as a national coach in Canada? Because he understands the environment. He understands everything. But these guys destroyed everything. And that's why I say player is also part of that. Player like Navid Haliwal, Kaleem Sana, all these senior players, they should be shameful what they did with Puvudu. And look, this is karma is the bitch. Today, all these players are gone. Navid Haliwal is gone. He has to take retirement. He knows very well that he cannot survive. That's why he took the, retirement. Now he's doing some coaching stuff. And I was laughing about it. The guy who needs a coach, a moral coach, he's doing coaching. So God save Cricket Canada.
Devesh, thank you so much for doing what you're doing. You didn't have to put your face out there. You didn't have to put your face on the national television. You didn't have to do any of this. But because you did, we are talking about it. The fans deserved to know. And now the facts are out. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bhav, for inviting me to your wonderful talk show. It was really, really good to talk and, pour my heart out because of this all corruption, this all misdeed, where I do not blame or not only blame the administrator, player also, the whole ecosystem is corrupt. So there is some serious problem and everyone has to realize that now things has to be done, right thing has to be done. Very soon, very fast.
Saying this not as a podcaster to an IT guy, but a cricket lover to a cricket lover. Yes, this is our first podcast, but this is not going to be our last podcast.
Thank you very much.
We will take it further, Devesh.
Thank you.
This was Devesh Shankar, the man who saw it first, who spoke when nobody was listening. But this story, this doesn't end here. Part 2 is coming. And my next guest wasn't watching it from outside. He was inside, in that dugout, in the ground at the World Cup. He saw the things which Devesh couldn't see. This is Bhav signing off. Thank you so much.